Working. Okay. Welcome to my video for communications, where I have to teach a skill, and I will be making chainmail, something like that. I hope you can see it. But the materials you'll need is you'll need some wire, preferably not too thick or too bendy, something that will keep its shape. This is just tile wire. You can buy it over like Cal Ranch or something. Pliers for the kind that I'm making, typically 2 pairs. It helps if they're the same size and not magnetic. Screwdriver if you're making the kind of chainmail that I am making. A rod of some sorts. It depends on the size. This is I believe a 1/4 inch steel rod. I mean aluminum rod, but you can get smaller, but you probably wouldn't want much bigger than this. And something to cut it with. I use aviation snips because they make a higher quality cut when it comes to, well, I guess you can see those, making chainmail. So to start out, what we want to do is we want to take some of our wire and our aviation snips, or aviator snips, whatever they're called, and I won't be making too much, and we want to unravel some of the wire and cut it off. And put that back in there. Then we'll be taking this wire and we will take it around. Actually, let me cut off a tiny bit more for the other wire that we'll need later. But we will take this wire and we will wrap it around the steel rod. And typically I wear gloves while doing this because after doing this for a long time it starts to hurt your thumbs. So you might want some gloves to do this with. And typically you want to get them right next to each other and as straight as you can, because otherwise your chainmail might not turn out that well. So once you've got it all coiled, like a little spring, just slide it off, and we have a little spring here. You'll take your aviation snips and cut off maybe what you don't want, and then we will cut these rings. Let me straighten these out a little bit first. But you'll take these and make sure you keep them straight, that way they'll cut. And that's a bit bent, so but we want to cut these cut these rings until they're like that, and you might want to take out the really odd shaped ones. Like, I don't need that one, probably won't turn out that well, or that one, or that one. The rest of these, that one might be a bit weird shaped one. That didn't coil this one that well. So we have these rings still. Then we'll take our smaller piece of wire, and for this particular chainmail, which I'll explain later, you will want to wrap it around into tiny loops, and especially on making these smaller ones is where you want to wear some gloves, because it can really start to hurt. So once we have that wrapped up into another small coil, we will cut those with our aviator snips, and cut these. And that's just a bit screwed up. So now we have our larger and our smaller rings, which we'll be needing because the pattern that we are making, I don't know if you can see this, is this one will probably be better. This is a Japanese 4-in-1 pattern where you have 4 rings in each larger ring. The typical pattern is a European 4-in-1, but I just found it really annoying, so I decided to switch to this, and it's turning out very well. So that's why we have the small and the larger rings, is so we can do this Japanese 4-in-1 pattern. And there's tons and tons of different patterns to do that you can get insanely complicated. I saw a guy making a chess set once. So then what we'll want to do is we want to take these rings that are bent like this, not bent in a circle, and you'll want to bend them so they line up like that, and then squeeze them into a ring with where they were cut lining up like so. I hope you can see that, because I can't tell if you can see that. And once we have that, we'll do these other ones really fast. And ouch, that kind of hurt. And with these, I mean, you could probably do this with your fingers, but it would eventually start to hurt, and with the smaller ones, you could not do them with your finger. So now that we have those 3 rings and these smaller rings, and typically I like to store up on rings, so I have all these. And so what we'll do is I'll take one more of these, and I'll use these smaller ones that we have, and we will take these, and you'll take 2 rings, these smaller rings, and you'll slide these onto the smaller rings. Sometimes you'll have to sometimes you'll have to open up these smaller rings a bit more, but slide those on so you have it like this, and you will squeeze the smaller rings together using your pliers, if I can get it right. Using your pliers, you'll bend these together. These ones are a bit harder, and you're not going to get them perfectly straight. It'll be really hard. And so they're linked together like that. Hope you can see those. And then take the other 2 rings that we have, and put those together. Like that. So now we have 2 of them. And what we'll do now is we'll take these 2, and we will put another ring through those, so you'll have connected 4 of them. And squeeze those together. And let me just get these. Have to be careful so you don't pinch your finger. And you have a ring like that, which will then you can put, typically I like to line these up in 4 rows, and then line them up here, up like this kind of, and then take another one of those and link them together, which I would show you, but I don't want to make this video too long. Maybe I'll put a part 2 up, and then you can eventually form those until you get something like this. But this is really a time-consuming project, because this piece right here, which is probably a bit less than 8 inches, took me 5 hours to do. And if you're thinking of making a shirt, you're gonna put in tons and tons of hours. That is our chainmail. We also have a piece of European 4-in-1, which I made. I don't really like this pattern because I find it difficult, but you can look up guides how to do that. I'll be posting some links so you can learn more about chainmail if you want. But that's a European 4-in-1, and just kind of show you that. But that is the basics of making some Japanese 4-in-1 chainmail. See you next time.